Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the most collectible, non-allocated brands. Sorry about that. We're going to be doing a bracket challenge for it. So my name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Wes Harden, Bo Cumberland, and Adam Stump.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah. So this is a show written by Wes, but I actually put it together, and then my part I just screw up, which you heard Becca struggling with it because it's the wrong show. So Wes will just, in the future, he'll just write the whole thing. He's not going to give any part of it to me because apparently I screw up my part of it. But we'll get to that after the break. It's the most collectible, non-allocated brands. I think there's an interesting take. There are some brands out there that you could find on the shelves that people do collect. So we'll do a bracket challenge to determine which is the best one of those. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Becca said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Becca?
So once again, I've said this before, I'm in Las Vegas right now. And so we're staying in this, fancy casino, whatever. And we have room service here that comes in and they clean your room on a regular basis, assuming that you take the little card off your door and you're not in your room. They come in and clean your room, which is a normal thing in most hotels. Now, in Las Vegas, and this is the only place I've seen this, I'm sure there's other places that do it as well, but for me personally, it's only been Las Vegas that does this. But they will come in and not only refresh your towels and fix your bed, but they also straighten up your things.
Oh, God. I wouldn't want that.
I want to know who feels comfortable if they came back from being out on the on the town for the day and they came back in and they look around the room and they're like, okay. And when I say straighten up your things, all of our shoes are nicely lined up in a nice, very, very straight, like they were all over the place. They grabbed all of my shoes and they set them all up. And then they come into the bathroom. They set down a rag in the bathroom or a washcloth in the bathroom, and anything that was strewed, they grab it all, they wipe off the counter, and they set them all up very nicely and straight on a washcloth. They straighten up everything. And I want to know who feels comfortable with this.
Not me.
And who is I'm seeing a lot of shaking.
I'm appalled by this.
I want to know who fucking hates this.
I hate it.
Hate it.
Yeah, I don't want them touching my stuff. No.
I put the do not disturb on the door the day we get in there.
Yeah.
Don't come in here, touch my shit, bring me a towel. That's it.
Yeah. I'm the same way too. Because I'm not getting the house refreshed every day. Why do I need to have, the hotel refreshed every day? So yeah. I'm fine with that. And I've never been in a place where they go through your stuff and
they don't go through like your bag.
Well, I'm not saying that. Yeah.
Oh,
but I leave shit on the desk. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like shoes, like I said, strewn all over the place. And so they grab all the shoes, they set them up. They always set up your makeup. If you've like just scattered it across the countertop. They set it up all nicely in like a row.
I've got a good story about this. Yeah,
Beka, did they put all of your AVN stuff back in your gift bag? Or did they leave that
Right.
on
All the flashlights were back in the gift bag.
How would you like to be working housekeeping during the AVN conference? God, you see when you walk in the door.
Hazmat.
Oh my God!
They
Oh,
line
thank
them
you.
up by size. Like,
Gonna leave the black light outside tonight.
horrible. But no, I've got a great story about this very topic. So my mom and dad used to like to take cruises, which I've never been on a cruise. It sounds absolutely horrible to me. But apparently there's on the cruise that they went on, there was like I don't know, they refer to him like as the room captain that'll be in charge. They can get you whatever you want. You know, they're on speed dial. They clean your room for you and stuff like that. So my mom, as they leave for the day, because you go out on these tours and stuff like that when they dock, which again, all sounds horrible to me. Anything involving a cruise sounds terrible to me, but they have your day trip. And my mom turns to my dad and she says, "Oh no, I think I left my underwear on the floor in the bathroom." And of course, she's worried about this dude, this room captain is going to be in there cleaning up. And so she's talking all day about this, and they're kind of laughing. As my aunt and uncles and another aunt that went on this trip. And they get back, and of course, my mom makes a beeline, and it's the worst case scenario. She finds the underwear gently folded up and put on the back of the toilet rather than just leaving it there on the ground. This dude had to
This is
pick up
their
her underwear
job.
and fold it up.
That's what they're supposed to do. Like
Oh.
they literally clean up every single thing in your room, and you are supposed
Old lady
to be able
granny
to trust
panties.
them to
Yeah.
not steal anything. Now, I'm not going to leave out anything that's like super important. Although when we did leave our room today, I was like, oh God, I left like my AirPods out. Like I said, I had 2 sets of AirPods. I just tossed onto the counter because I didn't want to have them in my bag. And
I have been in a Royce and Beka hotel room before, and it is a fucking mess. They just throw shit everywhere. It's unbelievable.
I keep it actually pretty clean for the most part if I try to, but if I don't try to, then it's an absolute mess. This room I've been trying to keep clean. We're in Las Vegas, or in New Orleans, probably.
Oh yeah, when I went in your room,
that room was I had busted my face on the fucking headboard, and there's blood everywhere.
Sexual injury there, but yes. I guess So
there was blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere, but there's clothes everywhere. It looked like a crime scene.
On top of that, we had ordered room service, and there was like
pizza boxes
all over the
and
place,
shit
and
everywhere.
like pizza.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. That room was such a disgusting mess. Like it looked like someone had been murdered.
And you're not supposed to smoke in a hotel. Obviously, there's a smell of cigars in there. It's like
that place was destroyed. The fact we didn't get charged extra is incredible.
I know,
because we should have been charged extra for that.
Yeah.
But this room we kept relatively clean. But like we got back in and we're just like, oh God, they touched our stuff. But they didn't touch any of your stuff. They touched my stuff because you don't have any stuff. They didn't even move any of his things because he didn't have anything here, but they like straightened everything out. And they did this the last time when we stayed at the Wynn. They literally put everything out like so terrible. Straightened out. And I don't actually mind it.
Sure.
If it's stuff that if they touch stuff that was not out, then I would have a problem with that. But if it's stuff that's already just like all over the counters, don't like sure touch that stuff because they're wiping down the countertops, and so they're picking that all up, they're wiping it down, and they're just putting it back down. Mm-hmm. But if it's stuff that was put away and I hope you're tipping them.
They're clearly angling for a tip here, so
they got the safe code. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So everyone here hates this.
Yes, I would not want that. No.
Okay.
If they would ask, do you touch your stuff, kind of straighten up a little bit. In addition to the room service, I would say no. I don't want any of that. Yeah, no.
It was funny. Whenever when I left Colorado and I went to New Mexico, I had to go there for work for 2 weeks.
Oh God, I can't imagine those big ass fucking boxers all strewn around a fucking room.
Well, one day I left, and so this is my thing. Whenever I get out of the shower.
Yes.
Just throw my clothes like on the bed where I was laying.
Sure.
And went and did my thing. And when I came back, they had been to my room and they cleaned up everything and they made up my bed. They left where my clothes were. They
didn't want to touch your stuff. This was the opposite of that place. They didn't want to touch
the other side of the bed, and they made up all around where my dirty
No.
Oh,
They had big tongs moving it.
Whatever you do not
Industrial
touch his
size
mad
tongs.
stuff.
yeah.
Do not touch his
Dude,
stuff.
undies.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
There you go. Well, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Beka. We'll get Beka out of the way. You got something to cork pop? You're absinthe? What do you got?
Do you want to hear something horrible that I'm drinking right now?
Okay, what are you drinking?
I am drinking champagne mixed with sugar-free Red Bull.
Oh, wow.
I'm insane, I guess. So.
Sugar-free
Also,
Red Bull.
I want you to know,
It's the
Steve,
most
that
millennial
this
thing
is-
you've ever done. Yeah.
This is the second time that Amelie has podcasted from Vegas with you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Or
no, I
on the
don't remember
ABV
that.
network.
I don't
I
remember
should
that.
say on the ABV network.
Really? I don't remember this.
Royce
No.
Royce podcasted from Las Vegas in 2020
Okay.
when him and I were here. So we're
Okay.
committed.
You're committed. You podcast from Vegas. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right. Adam, you're next. What do you got, man?
I've got a Bardstown bourbon. This is the West Virginia Great Barrel Company infrared toasted cherry blended
Okay.
rye. thing.
Jesus Christ. Could you add in a few more
Lot going
things?
on
It's
there.
the label and it's
How
hard
many
to
more
read.
adjectives do you have for that?
Right.
Look, I'll read the whole thing, but I mean, it'd take up the rest
Read
of
the
the show.
entire thing. It'll take us the entire show.
Yeah. Let's.
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Nothing going on there. Not
The
a
whiskey's
whole lot.
good, though.
The new Origin series is good, by the way. I tried all three of those. They're great. They're great. Show dropped on that. We did tasted for a show. I've got one of my new passions here, Horse and Jockey. Great looking label. I love the vintage style label. This is from Taconic out of New York, and what I like too, it's 125 proof is the standard proof on this one. So it's a big bold whiskey. So here we go. Cork pop. Basically, Adam's got the lead. So.
Yeah.
So I had nothing going on there. I've been hitting this one too frequently here recently. So Wes, you're next. What do you got, man?
Adam still has the lead. I'm going to have some more of this dusty Joshua Brooks 15 here.
Okay. All right. He's still working on a sample. All right. Bo, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the still 630 128th classic Monon Bell,
Okay.
which we got that when we were filming him. So
Adam's sworn enemy. You bring on the show with him. I'm kidding. They're good friends. I'm sorry. It's a shit show.
Everyone
here.
knows that
Adam's
hates
rival.
Adam
my
and Dave
cards.
hate each other. Yeah, it's a big time rivalry. Yeah,
True.
yeah. No, they're good buddies. They've even
124.
collaborated on stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Adam.
Whatever, Bo. Glad I ruined your cork pop.
Yes. Wes wins. Wes wins. No, Wes
Yay.
didn't. No,
I
sorry.
won. Yeah, too
Let's
late.
do
Oh,
it.
Adam wins.
Too late. I won.
It was Adam.
Too late.
It was Adam. Sorry.
Fuck Adam. I won.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, I messed that one up. All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the most collectible non-allocated bourbon. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely family distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Scott Pinkowski is unavailable. Would you like to? I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say right now.
He's listening to the Bourbon Daily. It's got to be the Bourbon
Daily.
Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the most collectible non-allocated brands.
Yes, we are. So, all right, here we go. These are the brands. Again, not necessarily all of them are readily available. Some are tougher to find, but all of them do hit the shelf. I think that's the important thing here. And you could say, well, there's my store. This puts, the first one, Booker's in the allocated. Well, fuck your store. I mean, Booker's still is one that, for the most part, hits the shelf. It doesn't last long these days, but it is one that is typically put on the shelf. So our contenders are as follows: Booker's, Blue Run, Four Roses Cast Strength, the 10 recipes. So there are certainly collectors of that. Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series. Again, kind of a little bit allocated, but again, does hit the shelf. I mean, you see it just sitting out there. It's one that you can get. Bardstown Bourbon Company Series. So Adam had one of those, and he took a time out on the break to tell us how great it was. So that's a really good one you got there, right, Adam?
That's true.
Yeah. The Yellowstone commemorative labels, that is kind of come and gone, but they're still out there. Matter of fact, I was at a local grocery store today at Schnucks, and I always check out the bourbon section. I saw the Yellowstone there was on sale, like it often is, but the labels that they had were the commemorative Yellowstone labels, so that's still out there. If you haven't started collecting that and you want to, it's there. You can find them. Bourbon barrel picks of your favorite brands. There's people who just collect the barrel picks of their favorite brands, and then finally Baker's single barrels. So again, they went to single barrels a couple years ago, and there are people that collect those. So that's going to be the contenders. Here's how it's going to break out. The Baker's single barrels will taking on barrel picks from your favorite brands. Booker's will take on Maker's Mark, the Wood Finishing Series. Then you got Four Roses, the Cast Strength 10 recipes. We'll take on Blue Run, and then Bardstown Bourbon Company's various series will take on the Yellowstone commemorative labels. Round number one, up first is going to be, I didn't even put that in the notes there. Oh, I'm going to have to do this without that. All right, up first is going to be Bo. Bo, what do you think?
And we're doing Baker's versus barrel pick favorites?
Yes.
I'm definitely going to go with my barrel picks of favorite brands. I love single barrels, and that's where I'm going.
All right. Wes, what do you think? Barrel picks of favorite brands has up 1-0 over Baker's.
Yeah, I think the Baker single barrels probably haven't been around long enough to really determine, are they going to be something that's collectible? Are they coming out frequently enough? So I think barrel picks of favorite brands is probably the way to go here.
Barrel picks is up 2-0. Adam, what do you think? Barrel picks are your favorite brands or Baker's single barrels?
Barrel picks as well.
Barrel picks moves on to our next round, our final four. All right. Next up is Booker's versus Maker's Mark, the Wood Finishing Series. Up first this time is going to be Wes.
It's just tough. I like both of these a lot. I think for longevity, I think the story's a little, Booker's always kind of puts out like a small little press release, or someone will write on a blog or whatever, this next batch is named after so-and-so, and here's the story behind it. I think that makes that cool. All the the labels are different, their ages are pretty close to the same, but just the box of the Bookers, it's great bourbon, actually, and it's still out there available. I think the Bookers, I like it. I like that one here.
That means Booker's goes up 1-0. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, if I'm picking between two, if I had just those sitting on the shelf, I think I would
Right.
go for Booker's.
Booker's. That means Booker's goes up 2-0 over Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series. What do you think, Beka?
With what Adam just said, that's probably the same way that I would go if I saw the two on there of the Makers Finishing Series or the Bookers. Like the Bookers just feels more exclusive, I guess.
Mhm.
Especially when like you see like a different tag on them and it's like always a new one. I just think I'd have to go with Bookers on that.
Booker's, yeah. That means Booker's will move on. Next up is Four Roses, Cast Strength, the 10 Recipes, or Blue Run. What do we think is more collectible out of those two? Adam, you're first.
I'm torn on this one. What is more collectible? I'm going to say Blue Run.
Blue Run. Blue Run goes up 1-0. What do you think, Miss Beka Sue? Blue Run or Four Roses, Cast Strength, 10 Recipes?
I think that the Four Roses is really cool, but I think that Blue Run has done a really good job of making each one of their releases really special. And I feel like Four Roses, I mean, they do that, but I think that Blue Run has done a really good job of promoting it a lot, with just the different, like, the tasting notes and all those things and all like the different like labels and everything. And like, it just looks really good on your shelf. So I have to go with Blue Run on that.
Blue Run. Blue Run, I think Blue Run is one of the great sourced brands of today, and they do an excellent job, coming out in series and things like that. And they are highly collectible, but there's also a lot of series. I mean, they come out with the various series, and then they even got at the holidays, the 12 Days of Christmas series. I don't even know where you start and stop with all the different series they got. It's tough.
Confusing for sure.
Yeah. So that's the thing that's going to work with them in my mind. Whereas Four Roses is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. It is a very collectible series. It's one that you can't rush. There's no quick way to get around it. You got to find the different cast strength, all the recipes, and it's kind of fun. When you find one, maybe you buy an extra one in case you have to trade down the road. But it's achievable. And there's 10. And once you get to 10, you could do the ultimate of, tasting with your friends, or, I think it's worth some money on the secondary, as collectability thing, because you've already done all the legwork. So I'm going to go the Four Roses 10 Recipes for my vote. So it comes around to you, Bo. Four Roses 10 Recipes is down 2-1 to Blue Run. What do you think?
I'm going to give them the Four Roses some life. So I think pretty much the same reasons you said, that it's kind of achievable, and it's I'm going for the 10 recipes, and so I definitely would give it to Four Roses.
Yeah. It's even a collection that I'm working on, and I don't keep a good enough track, and I'll forget about it, and then I'll think I got to get back on this, and then I'll see some and I'll buy it, and I'm like, oh shit, I already got that when I get home. Then you got to drink it. It's a whole thing. Eventually I want to drink it anyway, but I want to get all 10 first, but drink the series. But so yeah, when you get doubles and you drink or trade. So yeah. All right. Wes, you're going to be the tiebreaker here. We're tied 2-2. Four Roses, Cast Strength, the 10 Recipes, or Blue Run. What do you think?
So the Blue Run, to me, the bottle and the presentation look more collectible. So like if you're looking at the two on the shelf beside each other, which they probably would never be, but let's assume they are. I think the Blue Run bottle beats a lot of bottles on the shelf today as far as collectability. Each offering or version.
Yeah, I agree. It would look cool on your bar, whereas the Four Roses wouldn't look any different. There'd be 10 bottles that look exactly alike.
Yeah, they've got Blue Run has a different colored butterfly, which is their little emblem on their thing, a different colored butterfly. And then when you get into like single barrels and some of that special holiday stuff that you were talking about, like the label on the front matches the color of the, but like they've gone really deep into the marketing.
They're good at branding. They're
very good at branding. The Four Roses, the problem with the Four Roses is it's such a deep rabbit hole where they have the 10 recipes, and if you don't want to be a uber geek about it, you can just literally get whatever offering you find of each of the 10 and say, I'm done. I've got the 10. But like you get these Four Roses people that they break it down even further than that.
Yeah,
So within
exactly.
the 10, you've got what
Places
tier
in the
is
warehouse.
it? Yeah, where what warehouse, what tier is it? And now they're getting into like production run number 5V46 is like, I need that one per tier, whatever. And it's like
Right.
you need a fucking macros Excel sheet to even keep up with all of it. So I think collectability wise, Blue Run may be a little harder to do, but I think that's part of what makes it fun to be collectible. Is it's something that's achievable but tough, and it kind of makes it worth the journey. So I'm going to go with Blue Run.
All right, that means Blue Run moves on. Next up is Bardstown Bourbon Company. Their various series. What do you think about collecting those versus Yellowstone's commemorative editions that they put out for their 150th anniversary, featuring 6 different spots in Yellowstone Park? So what do you think collectability out of those? Up first this time is Miss Beka Sue.
For me, and this is just for me, I'm going to go with Yellowstone because I just think I personally just think it's cooler. I like their branding and all those things. I think that Bardstown Bourbon Company is doing a great job with all of the stuff they're doing, but I just personally enjoy the Yellowstone branding.
Yeah. I'm going to second that. I think the Yellowstone is a very collectible series, and not only did I collect all of those, I also have all of those signed by Steve Beam. I think that's a pretty cool collection. It's something that I think is pretty cool, and that's another component to this. Get all of them, and then get them signed by Steve Beam. It's something that's accomplishable. He's at the distillery quite a bit, and I think that's a cool part of it, and that to me is what you're looking for in something collectible. So I that's going to get my vote. So that means it's up 2-0 right now. Bo, you're next. What do you think? Bardstown Bourbon Companies, their various series, collectible, or Yellowstone?
Well, I think for strictly collectability and looking cool on the shelf or whatever, I'm gonna close that out with the Yellowstone commemorative labels.
All right, that means Yellowstone moves on. Our final 4 is going to look like this: Barrel Picks versus Booker's, and then Blue Run versus Yellowstone. So I'm going to be first. Barrel Picks or Booker's? Well, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who owns a Barrel Pick store. I mean, I do love the collectability of Booker's, yes. And Booker's, I do think, is collectible because you want to taste. I mean, I think the ultimate in Booker's is what's good too about it is, to me, it's always a reset at the end of the year. So it's where does it end? Well, I think at the end of the year it resets, and then you collect them throughout the year, and then you do the side by side tasting. That being said, it's been tough to find. I haven't even been able to get Booker's the last several because they've gotten to the popularity point. Again, it does hit the shelf. It is a true shelfie, but people buy it, and so I'm going to go with what I do for a living. I'm going to go with the Barrel Picks. I think that there's some collectability there. There is differences. It's fun to taste back and forth versus the thing. Did they do a better job versus the regular shelf offering? So I'm going to go Barrel Picks. That means it is up 1-0. Bo, you're next. What do you think? Barrel Picks or Booker's?
Yeah, you got a Booker's recently, didn't you? Like a good Booker's.
Oh, yes. I got one that is like a year 3 of Booker's, yes, from Jerry Dalton, signed by Booker No himself. Yes. You can't go find those out on the shelf, but yes, that is one of the ultimate things. One of my treasured items that I've got in the collection for sure from Jerry. So, yeah. I was stunned when he goes over and just hands me that and says, "This is yours." I didn't even know how to respond to that. I felt guilty taking it. I mean, that's an unbelievable item. I mean, yeah, but they said 100% it's for me. So it's cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So as much as I'm a Booker's fan, and I still hold to the fact that I'm above all in my journey and where I'm at right now, above all, if I had to pick one thing and go with it, it would always be single barrels. So I'm going to go with the Barrel Picks from my favorite brands.
All right, barrel picks goes up 2-zip. What do you think, Wes? Barrel picks or Bookers? What is more collectible?
I think to me, barrel picks is too wide of a range. I mean, just for instance, the Four Roses, 10 recipes. Most of the time when you find those, they're going to be in a barrel pick of some sort. Like some store has purchased a barrel of OESK, OESO, whatever the case is. I just think of collectability. I think part of it is if I have to visualize, I've got a bourbon room, a basement, or whatever you want to call it, and I wanted to take someone to one of these 8 and say, "Hey, what do you think about my collection of X?" I still think it's going to be hard. I think Booker's beats just random barrel picks of up to however many different distilleries. I think from a collection standpoint, maybe barrel picks are definitely some of my favorite to drink. But if I was talking about like building a collection of duplicates that I may not open because I want the whole collection to have it there, I think Booker's is what I'm going to go with.
Booker's has life in this game thanks to Wes. They're down 2-1. Adam, what do you think? Booker's or barrel picks?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm one of those people. I guess I collect what I like to drink because I plan to drink it, as opposed to collecting labels and letting them sit. So I think I am probably most likely to pick a barrel pick of one of my favorite brands.
Okay, that means barrel picks moves on. We'll be in the finale. All right, next up is Blue Run versus Yellowstone Commemorative. What do you think is the more collectible brand? Up first this time is Bo. Bo, what do you think, Blue Run or Yellowstone Commemorative?
I think I definitely would have to go with the Yellowstone Commemorative.
All right, Yellowstone Commemorative goes up 1-0. Wes, what do you think? Yellowstone or Blue Run?
I think collectability, the Yellowstone commemorative labels are kind of a one-shot anniversary kind of pay homage type of thing. I think for collectability, Blue Run's probably going to be have a wider range. I'm going to go with Blue Run.
All right, Adam, we're tied up 1-1. Blue Run and Yellowstone. What's your vote?
Yeah, I think I would go with Blue Run.
All right, Blue Run goes up 2-1. Beka, you could end this thing right now, Blue Run, or you can vote for Yellowstone and give it life in this game.
I want to say Yellowstone, but I just think the Blue Run is doing, like, I've seen so many different just like videos of different people and like their collections, and I think that kind of speaks volumes, I guess. Is just like all these different videos I've seen of just like collections of people collecting all of their Blue Run. So as much as I want to see Yellowstone, I have to close it out with Blue Run.
Okay, Blue Run. All right, so our finale looks like this. Round number 7. Wes, you're going to kick this thing off. It's going to be barrel picks or Blue Run. This is our finale.
I'm going to go Blue Run.
Blue Run goes up 1-0. Adam, what do you think? Blue Run or barrel picks?
Barrel picks.
Barrel picks has tied it up. Miss Beka Sue, what do you think? Barrel picks or Blue Run?
This one I'm going to go barrel picks on.
Barrel picks. Barrel picks is up 2-1. I can end this thing right here, right now, or I can give Blue Run life in this game. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Blue Run life because it is highly collectible. And they do look good. I mean, because they're all different. They have a little bit different shade to them. They look cool when you collect them. And way to go, Blue Run, for creating a situation where your product's so collectible that people want to have an unopened one for a collection. And I assume they like to drink it too. I would guess they buy 2, I would guess. I don't know, but because I don't have a Blue Run collection myself, but I would assume that's what's going on there. So hats off to them. I'm going to tie this thing up and I'm going to throw it to Bo, meaning Bo, you get the final say here. Barrel picks or Blue Run? What is the more collectible thing here?
It is a hard one, but I'm gonna go with just what I've stuck with the whole time. I'm gonna go with barrel picks because I think, honestly, I mean, sounds stupid, but I just think that's cooler. I mean, people, you can be anywhere and go for a barrel pick, so I'm sticking with that.
We're going with the barrel picks. That means barrel picks is our champion, the most collectible thing in the bourbon industry. Definitely get by the ABV Barrel Shop, where we only sell barrel picks, the only store in the world that sells that. This show has been sponsored by ABVBarrelShop.com, and we knew exactly how this was going to end. This is a scripted show. No, I'm kidding. We had no idea. We just played it out, and it legitimately won. So there you go.
Bo, you need to cash your check before it bounces.
Exactly.
I'm going right to the bank right now.
There you go.
Exactly. There you go. All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Bo, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
I'm on the social medias at my journey through the American spirits and Bourbon Sasquatch.
All right, Wes.
You can find me on Instagram at Bourbon_Wes and Twitter at BourbonWes, one word.
All right, Adam.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Stumpy Spirits and StumpySpirits.com.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, our blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. And seriously, do stop by the ABV Barrel Shop. We do have what we think are the best barrel picks in the world. So check us out at abvbarrelshop.com. Or if you're in St. Louis, just come by and see us. All right, Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Adios.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.